In the book by Tony Robbins, Money, Master the Game, he says that in retirement, income is the outcome. So when we think about income planning here at our firm, and when the general person thinks about retirement and where income's going to come from, Social Security is kind of the cornerstone of that foundation, with income being the foundation of your financial house. Again, Social Security is that cornerstone. So we want to address Social Security today. In fact, if you Google Social Security, you're going to have actually over 6 billion, with a B, 6 billion things will come up about Social Security. And there's a lot of different rules about Social Security, a lot of misconceptions, and a lot of things that people don't understand. And yet, during our working year, we may pay into it for 40 to 50 years. And it becomes very pivotal in our retirement years. In fact, just recently I read an article that said that for retirees today, 37% of their income comes from Social Security. So that's over a third. Now, for some of you it may be 20%, and some it may be 50%, but the average being 37%. So certainly something that is a really big deal and to pay attention to. So we all want to be able to maximize everything that we can out of Social Security. And one of the things that we want to do for you is help to put aside the misconceptions that a lot of people have, so that you're a little bit more aware of what to do about Social Security and what's important about it. So let's jump right into those. So the first misconception is that your benefits are tax-free. You would think that paying into it all those years and paying taxes all those years, that it would be tax-free. But when you start drawing Social Security in retirement, there are a select few that will not have to pay any taxes on their benefits. But for a single person, you have to make less than $25,000 a year, and for a couple filing jointly, it's like $32,000 a year. If you make more than that, you're going to have to start paying taxes. Many people have to pay on 50% of their benefits. So if they're getting $30,000, they pay taxes on $15,000. But actually, it seems like most of you will likely be paying taxes on 85% of your benefits. So again, that's most of the benefits being taxed. And paying taxes on Social Security actually impacts all of your taxes in retirement. So there are some things that can be done, and I recommend that you meet with someone who is a really good planner that actually is focused on saving you money in taxes in retirement. And so there are ways that you can actually make a good income and pay less taxes on your Social Security. So again, it's not tax-free. It's likely to be taxable. In fact, most of it is. And the taxes you pay on that can impact all your taxes. So keep that in mind. Misconception number 2 is that Social Security is going bankrupt. It's probably not even going to be there for me when I retire, or maybe if I start getting it, it's probably going to go away. I actually don't think that's true. Now, there's a lot of debate out there about how that has been used, the Social Security money and all that, but I just don't see politicians ever being able to be elected into office and doing away with Social Security. It's such a necessary thing for retirees today. So there may be changes to it, which there already have been significant changes over the last 10 to 20 years. But as far as going away, it's not going to go bankrupt. There are still a lot of monies generated from payroll taxes, interest on the money that's still in the Social Security fund, and taxes. Remember, I just mentioned about taxes on your Social Security. That money actually goes to help fund future Social Securities for people. So the fact that it's going to go bankrupt, I don't think you should do any planning thinking that it's likely going to go bankrupt. Now, you also don't want to overinflate it and think that it's going to be as good later as it is now, because it may not be. But again, I think it's a misconception to say that Social Security is going to go bankrupt. Misconception number 3 is that you should always delay your benefits to a later age so that you get a bigger paycheck. That's not always the case. You see, Social Security is just one of the aspects of your retirement income. And there's a lot of different things that go into that decision. It could be the health of your family, the health of you personally. What is it predicted based on your health that you're actually going to live? And if you're a person that's not in good health already, then delaying may not be the best thing. And for some people, taking the Social Security early, letting the other investments that they have build so that they don't have to use those early on in their retirement can be a really, really good thing. So what you need to do is meet with someone who is an income planner for retirement and really see where Social Security fits for you, and if you have a spouse, in your retirement, what other income sources that you have, and make the decision for there. For some of you, you need to take it early at age 62. Others of you, you may need to delay until age 70, and every age in between is really there and the right thing for some of you. So again, it's not always, yes indeed, you do get a bigger increase if you wait, but it actually may not translate into more money for your family. And keep in mind that behind a husband and wife, then there is no beneficiary of that money to your children. So if you're looking to leave, something as a beneficiary and an inheritance, maybe it's better that you use the Social Security and let the other money goes to the heirs, because there you can choose a beneficiary. So again, just some good planning tips that go along there. Misconception number 4 is that your spouse actually has to die in order for you to get spousal benefits. It is true that if your spouse passes away and their benefit was higher than yours, you then can take a spousal benefit, and so you'll get theirs instead of yours, which is a higher, and that's a really good thing. But it's not really a good thing when your spouse passes away. There are actually ways that you can get a higher income from a spousal benefit while you're still living. So if you happen to have been married to somebody for 10 years or more and they were a high income earner, and you are now at least 62 years of age, you can actually draw off of their Social Security amount even though you're not still married. But the key is that you're not married yet yourself and that you're 62 years old. But that's certainly something that I just recently talked to a friend and a client about. So you need to be aware of that. The other thing is, there are ways for, say, a husband and a wife, if one of them happened to be a much higher income earner than the other, and maybe the other didn't work outside the home and gain Social Security benefits, or maybe looked after the children, that kind of thing, and that was kind of the way things were split up. There are ways that even somebody that would get a small benefit in Social Security can get an increase based on a spousal addition that they get from the higher earner in the family. And so there's some rules that you need to follow there. And first, the person who gets the higher benefit needs to turn their Social Security on. And let's say that that's at full Social Security age, and let's pretend that it's at 66 years and 10 months or something. Then the spouse, if their benefit is much less, they get theirs, and then they also can get a bump up to, in some cases, almost half or even half of what the higher income earner was getting. So let's say they were getting $2,000 a month and you were only going to get $300 a month based on yours. By doing it right, you might actually, the lower income earner, bump their benefit up from $300 to even like $1,000 or something. And so that's really more income to the family. So again, make sure that you get all the facts on this and don't just make assumptions. Misconception number 5 is that the Social Security Administration will always help you make the right decision with your Social Security. Now, they want to answer questions. They want to be helpful. Like so many people, they're probably overworked, sometimes undertrained, but they're not the only people. But for the most part, they're not trying to do a bad job for you if you have questions about your Social Security and how to turn it on. And many times, a lot of the simpler things that we don't understand, they're able to help us with. But it's not really their job to go way over and above and try to figure out as a family how you can gain the highest amount of income from your Social Security and when is the best time to take it based on an overall income plan for you in retirement. So those are the kind of things that a financial planner and somebody that's working with all your investments, knows your health needs and other things like debt and longevity in the family and all those kind of things are factored in. So in other words, Social Security, when to take it and how to take it, is not to be made in a silo totally apart from everything else, but is to be made as part of the whole. And that's where a financial advisor can help, in addition to the person at the Social Security Administration Board, where they're able to answer questions, help you fill out forms, maybe help you apply for Social Security. But as far as maximizing your Social Security as a family over your retirement years, maybe that's best left to somebody else that's in the financial arena. So, as you can see, this can account to a lot of money for families, several $100,000, and to some families even upwards to $1 million over their retirement lifetime. So it is something to really know everything you need to know to maximize for you and your family. So if we're able to help you, we'd love to. So reach out to us at Beacon Capital Management. There'll be a link below that you can click on, and it will tell you how you can get in touch with someone that we'd be willing and able and thrilled to be able to help you make the right decisions with your Social Security. Thank you for watching Retirement Talk. Be sure to subscribe to get all kinds of other videos just like this to learn more about your retirement needs.